is a new university funding education funding model that actually came as a result of I don't know what, like for real, because I am looking at the differentiated model,
Yeah.
which would actually create more space for the parents who came from humble backgrounds. They give you more time, it gives you more space to actually get some money, yeah, to make sure that you get to fund your sons or daughters' education. And things like accommodation were actually really affordable.
True.
But with the new university education funding model, then a lot has come to play.
That's right. It's out of reach for most Kenyans. President William Ruto has, however, appointed a 129-member committee to review the model. Of course, this has come under fire over claims that it has made education more expensive and disadvantages students from poor backgrounds. The committee draws members from different fields, as well as university students, and it will be chaired by Professor Japheth Misheni Ntiba, who is a former principal secretary and chief administrative secretary.
As we look at that, there's a Gazette notice that was released by the president, and according to the Gazette notice, the committee will have 4 streams, each with its own leadership. The work stream of the review and refinement of the new funding model for universities and technical, vocational education and training institutions will be chaired by Professor Karuti Kanyiga, with Zibora Zainab as the co-chair. The work stream on appeals arising from the categorization of students into various bands for allocation of scholarships and loans will be chaired by Walubengo Waningilo, with Lucy Machugu as the co-chair. Dr. Ruto also appointed Robert Oduor Otieno to chair the work stream on structure of student loans, with Aaron Kiprotich Bet as the co-chair, while Professor Mohammed S. Rajab will chair the work stream of the review of the cost of university academic programs, and Patrick Malanga is the co-chair. Those are 4 different streams.
Hey, there's 129 people is a lot. I want to ask the obvious questions. Finding a consensus for anything with 129 people is obviously a tall task.
Yes.
Of course, this comes at a taxpayer's cost. These people will be paid allowances. Of course, they will be accommodated wherever it is that they go to do their work, or they'll have, the retreat to put together a report, as is usually the order of the day, all on a taxpayer's buck. Is it not easier to just say, hey, this funding model isn't working? We had something that seemed to be working before, because even previously, university education was out of reach for a lot of people without help, right?
Yes.
But it seemed to be working a lot better than this. Is it not easier to just revert back to the system that was working, or reboot the system back to the last point where it was working and keep moving from there, as opposed to spending taxpayer money on another committee that will create another report that probably won't change much?
Yes, just a reminder also that there's an announcement that was made a few days ago by the Cabinet CS for education, but of course it's just 2 days before the commencement of a nationwide strike by university lecturers over implementation of their 2021 to 2025 CBA, collective bargaining agreement. And of course, if you're asking yourself why the students are complaining about this, is because, one, delayed disbursements, insufficient funding. Also, there's unclear eligibility criteria, so you don't know who's going to receive what and when.
Right.
We have complicated application process where it's not been stipulated clearly what you need to do to make sure that you get this kind of funding. And of course, there's debt concerns that you may actually pay a little bit more than usual, and it take a longer period of time before you actually repay your loan. So there's a lot, and we actually need to take it seriously. I mean, who are you serving if the people that you're serving are telling you, he inatufinya?
Great question.